Hello to our dearest listeners.
Hello.
We just wanted to take a second at the beginning of this episode to talk about something pretty important. We know that you're hearing a lot about these protests that are happening right now, and I know that it's everything that the internet is talking about. You probably were looking forward to a nice break from that, honestly, but you're getting it at the beginning of this episode because that's what we're going to talk about. We just want to utilize our platform in a way that we see is right. So we're taking this small section at the beginning of the episode to just say in a very straightforward manner that we fully stand with the protesters.
Mm-hmm.
We stand with Black Lives Matter. And we think that you should do the same. So we're leaving a link in the description of this podcast episode. It's extremely helpful.
Yeah, please do check out the link because it has a lot of different ways you can help. If you haven't donated already, then please consider giving anything that you can, even if it's a small amount, to any local fund or one that you think needs help. If you have already donated, you can donate again. But if you don't have those kind of means, then you can be vastly helpful in other ways. There are a ton of petitions at that link that need your signature. There is a ton of educating that you can do for yourself on these kind of issues. And please just take a little bit of your day to check it all out.
Yeah, we have donated personally. We've signed those petitions. We really want you to do the same. And I know you're probably sitting there thinking, "Oh, this shit and piss podcast is getting political." They want us to actually, but no, we are completely separating this from the dog shit episode that's about to be recorded because we don't even want it touching. We don't even want it touching the thing at all.
Yes.
This is extremely serious, and we want you to take it extremely seriously. And we would just really appreciate, as listeners of this show, if you at least went and checked out the link that's in the description of this very podcast episode.
Mm-hmm. So just scroll down when you're finished listening, or right now if you want, and click that link.
But I think that's all. Enjoy the episode.
Bye.
I'm late for a very important pod.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's the best that you could come up with.
Yeah.
Even though we're an entire day late.
And a buck short.
Ah, okay.
Uh-huh.
All right, even better then.
I'm broke, starving, and without a podcast.
I have no respect, no friends.
And no time. I gotta go.
Because time's money, baby.
Time is money, and the podcast isn't paying me.
No.
We are a day late.
Yeah. Sorry about it.
We are a buck short. We did it again. We didn't want to record on a Sunday. Nothing really stood in the way other than we weren't in the mood.
We kind of weren't feeling it.
The mood didn't take me.
No.
So I didn't want to podcast yesterday. But we're podcasting today on a Monday, and you'll probably hear this on a Monday. So this is still a Monday podcast.
It still counts, and nobody can sue us over it or take us to court. So it's fine.
Before we get into the episode,
okay,
we just have to say, you're across the country again.
Surprise!
You're not here anymore.
Well, I'm not across the country. I'm across the country and over the ocean.
Right. So I was
back in England.
Okay. I was still right.
Don't make it sound like I was
you
wrong.
Didn't cross the country to go to England. Of course, I didn't misspeak. I said what I meant to say, and you were supposed to. I alley-ooped it for you, and you slam dunked it. That's why we're a perfect couple.
It's amazing, actually. It was flawless.
Get to the first question. I'm pissed off now. You are across the country, and then also you continued crossing the country and crossed whatever ocean that is, the Atlantic Ocean.
Yes.
And then flew home.
Yeah.
Can we use this as clickbait?
Are we allowed one clickbait?
Can we
perhaps?
Go, Daniel Radcliffe, please listen to this. My girlfriend traveled during a pandemic to go on vacation.
No, not that.
Because she was feeling a little antsy. She
I
wanted to get
know.
her toes in the sand.
It's called Wanderlust. Ever heard
Ever
of
heard
it?
of it? I learned about it on Tumblr.
On a picture of a girl kind of looking back at the photographer and holding
Yeah,
his
holding their
hand.
hand as they're like
Yeah.
traveling through
On
Paris and then
the streets of
Disneyland and then
Cairo.
Disneyland Paris and all of that stuff. Yeah, but you can never see her face, but she has long hair and she's kind of guiding you.
Yeah. She's
Perfect
like
stranger.
the feminine ideal because you can't see her face.
Right.
Yeah.
I can imagine whoever I want there. And I'm imagining someone who looks like my mom. because I'm a broken man.
I know, she didn't take me on a holiday much, I guess. I'm mad about it.
I wish she held my hand at Disneyland. The 2 times we went, she did not. You're like, first of all, she probably definitely did. You were like 6 when you went to Disneyland. So yeah, she held your hand.
Either that or you're on baby reins.
Yeah, I probably was on a little leash or something. Can we use this as clickbait? If to say that you traveled during a pandemic, will you tell that story on what it was like to travel?
Yeah, I did travel internationally during a pandemic, and it was fucking weird. It was weird, and I will preface this by obviously saying it was not for fun. I had to come home, like legally. My
It was a
visa ran
legal
out.
thing, yeah.
Yeah, and I had to come back to England.
And we even contacted people being like, "Oh, please, can't I have just a crumb more of pussy?" And they were like, "No,
Sorry, there's no pussy visa available.
You've had enough." They sent you home.
You used that privilege up.
Damn it.
On now. But yeah, they sent me home for you being a bad boy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did travel, and it was a little bit bizarre. Like, it's not a thing that many people have been doing, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And like so like from the outset, like, you get in the Uber, you got to put your face mask on. Obviously, the driver's also got a face mask on. And then you're like driving down the highway, and I don't think I even told you about this, but what like the first thing of things, because when we were in lockdown, we were in lockdown. As in, like, we did not leave. We didn't go to the shop to get food. We didn't go anywhere at all. So I'd not been exposed to like
anything,
the wider world at all for that amount of time.
For some months,
yeah. So when I started like getting into LA, there were all these billboards on the side of the street that were like, anyone who's in LA knows this already. They're like, yeah, whatever. It's just been like that for months. But for me, it felt like the fucking opening of a horror movie.
Holy shit.
Because all the billboards were like, sometimes like a horror movie opens and it's like got all these things that are like setting up the plot, and it's like, oh, there are billboards alluding to the big thing that happened. And it's like, that's unrealistic. They wouldn't put billboards up about it, but they did.
Wow.
And as you're driving in, it's just stuff like, it's just signs just like, thank you to our community heroes during this time of pandemic from Arby's, and then a big picture of a juicy burger.
Holy shit. It's so dystopian.
It's so specifically like American dystopian.
It's so strange.
Yeah. And just like McDonald's golden arches just being like, here to serve you, socially distanced drive-through kind of thing. Like, and it's just like, holy shit. Yeah.
I'm like listening to this story in awe because you've never told me any of it. Were you just saving it for the podcast?
No, I think just like I was so fucking tired when I landed that like I'd forgotten about it. I was just like, yeah, flight was fine. Yeah, and just like, just these these bigger signs over the highways flashing like, stay safe, Angelinos, make sure to wash your hands kind of thing. So I'm just driving through it, and the signs are getting like more and more aggressive kind of thing the closer you get to the airport.
What was LAX like?
LAX was a fucking ghost town.
Ooh, you'll never see it like that again.
I won't.
Or maybe you will if you travel soon.
Maybe, I guess. But yeah, it was like, for the first time ever, there was no traffic there at all because there were no cars. Like, I pulled up to a completely empty international terminal, walked into a completely empty terminal again, like no people outside, no people inside, one desk open with one woman working it with a mask on.
This is LAX.
This is LAX, one of the busiest airports in the world, and she like looks at my passport from afar, like doesn't take it off me kind of thing, just looks at it and goes, yeah, looks fine.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm just like walking through the airport, and there's no one there, no one all the way in the line to security. So I'm just like walking. You still got to walk like along like the kind of snaking line that they make, but you're just like walking back and forward by yourself while.
Really dehumanizing. You're like a
Yeah.
trained dog at that point.
Yes, exactly.
at a competition. They're like, let's see how fast this one can do it.
Well, one time I was in LAX and I like ducked under one of those things, and the fucking border patrol people started
They were,
shouting at me, and that was very scary because they all have guns.
No. You go around.
Yeah. So I know to go around now. And yeah, I'm walking around and there's like no people anywhere, but what there is like a recorded voice coming over the transmission on a loop, just being like, please keep 6 feet away at all times, blah, 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 like to slow the spread of coronavirus. But like, I'm way more than 6 foot away from anyone because no one's there.
Huh.
Yeah, and it was just like a ghost town the whole way through. The whole freaking way through.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I got onto the plane, wearing my mask. You had to have a mask to go into the airport or to get onto the plane for both things. So everyone had a mask getting onto the plane. Now, once the plane was in the air, what happened was interesting because from where I was sat, from my vantage point, every man in the cabin, I'm not joking or making this up for feminism points, every man in the cabin took his off.
Yeah, that seems very that seems very accurate.
Yeah, and then just like half of them just started like kind of just open mouth snoring,
Throwing
just,
their
like,
head back and just kind of tongue out.
like cartoonishly spreading their breath everywhere.
Of course.
Yeah.
With their legs spread as wide as they can go.
Yeah, just like the viral version of man spreading. Yeah. But I was okay. Everyone had like a row to themselves. I had like the row in front of me and behind me were all like empty. So
That's
I was
cool.
like, I'm just gonna sit very still and not touch the touch screen.
Huh. I wonder
Yeah.
what you ate during this plane ride, because they probably weren't catering to vegans during all of this, right?
They definitely weren't catering to vegans, no.
Oh. So
No.
what'd you eat during these this long plane ride?
Oh, well, someone made me a very nice pack lunch.
Someone woke up early on the day
Yeah.
of your flight, packed you several lunches, made you
Yes.
several vegan sandwiches with tofurkey.
Yes.
They were amazing looking. I was
Those
like
were, like-
taking pictures of them.
Those were photo quality. Like, those were like advertisements for tofurkey.
Yeah.
It were like crisp lettuce, sliced heirloom tomato.
Yeah, that were kind of like just kind of poking out the side,
Yeah.
It
The
was
proportions were perfect.
it was awesome. There was homemade hummus in there and chopped up veggies and all that stuff. I really felt
Yep.
like I was full blown mom mode, full blown husband mode.
Yeah.
It was
And then
it
as
was-
if you
it was
hadn't
nice.
gone far enough, you baked me cookies.
Oh yeah, I baked you cookies right before you left. Damn.
Yes.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
You baked me cookies. They were still like warm when I was taking them with me.
I went I like rushed through them. I was like, "Oh wait, I wanted to bake you cookies before you left." And I was like, "I have time. I can do it."
I've got 20 minutes.
And I whipped you
did
up
it.
some cookies really quickly
Yes.
and packed them for you so you can have some
Yeah.
cookies on the flight. Which I don't think you ate.
No, I didn't. I ate them when I got home though, and it did stave off the heart sickness. So that
That's
was
good.
nice. Yeah,
That
it did make
is.
me feel good when I got home. Well, I say when I got home, because what actually happened is that I didn't get to go home.
Yeah. This is the only part of the story that I've actually like heard is that when you landed and you called me, you're like, my dad called me, and he's who you're staying with now. But
Yeah.
when you got home initially, he calls you like right when you land, and he's like, "Hey, so just so you know, last night I started coughing. I had a 30-minute coughing fit at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
So you're like, I'm not going home.
Oh my god, yeah. So he was like, so you probably shouldn't come here. And I
You
was
probably
like, no,
shouldn't stay here.
I
Yeah.
probably should not.
Until we know
No.
I'm good.
Yeah. He was like, I'm pretty sure that it's just because I like smoked a lot of cigarettes yesterday, but just in case, And I was like, yeah, no, just in case. I am asthmatic and I do not want to get very sick. So I had to go to my brother's.
Yeah,
and
you stayed there for a bit.
Go isolate there for a little while after landing. So actually, I've only just last night actually got back to my home where I live.
Thank God
I've been back for like nearly 2 weeks, but I've only actually just got back home.
We've been good little boys and girls and recorded like back catalog episodes and stuff. So
We did.
we're getting pretty good at this podcasting thing.
We are pretty organized.
So you're home, we're apart. There is all this space in between us.
Once again.
And we are
yes.
continuing to podcast at the same good quality as we normally do.
God, the quality's
The quality's fantastic. How did they do it? Watch, something happened in this episode where we have to use your phone audio again. It sounds like just sounds like pure dick all the way through. No, assuming nothing happened, then this episode sounds fantastic, but we're going to continue podcasting. With that said, we're like 14 or 15 minutes into the episode at least by now.
And they must just be simply clamoring for us to read an email on our
please,
email
on
reading
this
podcast.
email reading podcast. So with all of that said, welcome to All the Space in Between. My name is Mitch.
My name is Billie, and we will be diving into some of the treasures of our inbox again this
have
episode.
2 or 3 questions to get through depending on how fast we burn through these, but this is an email reading podcast. We are email readers ourselves, and we crunch our teeth into your little salty briny pickles and try and solve your life's conundrums for you.
Yes.
We don't do a good job. This
We do
is,
a
after
really
all,
bad
a
job.
shit
I
and
don't
piss
know
podcast.
who lets us do this. Yeah.
We do it, but you allow it. Like we're doing
You
it.
encourage it.
You write into the show, so we have to record more episodes. This is your fault as much as it is ours at this point.
You're egging us on, really.
You are reading the first question, right?
Yeah. Is it the middle question?
I don't know, because Chrome
forgot.
is something that I can't even spell anymore at this point.
Oh,
I tried to
Jesus.
look it up on my computer. Started with a K, that didn't work. I
No.
started, and then I was like, well, it can't be Trome. That's weird. So like, Tromy. So yeah,
Tromony?
it's because I've deleted it. I've deleted it from my mind
From
at
my
this
memory
point. Yeah.
banks now.
So I don't
Can't
know
actually
where-
access the word.
I don't know where Chrome is, but I just found
Yeah.
it. And I'm going into our email,
Okay, good.
which is all the space in between at gmail.com, by the way.
If you wanted to send us one, is allspaceinbetween@gmail.com, by the way. Tell me which email I'm reading, because I forgot
Oh, shit.
already.
I know that I'm doing the middle one. So you're doing, I've abandoned my community, now what?
Okay. All right. So as Mitch just said, this one is called I've Abandoned My Community. Now what? And it goes. Bill and Mitchie, I have a pickle that nearly everyone I know can answer for me immediately upon my asking, but I'd rather ask the pickle prince and princess instead. I'm scared. Trembling, terrified, afraid, scared, and gone. I'm AWOL, MIA, and CII. I'm the resident representative for a bitchin' chicken and a weird little green koala thing. That's right, I finally started Animal Crossing.
Up until this point, I'm like, what in the fuck are you talking about?
What could you
I love
possibly be on
every
about?
word you're saying. I just don't know what it means. Please keep talking to me like this, though. I love the I'm
soothing.
scared, trembling, terrified, afraid, scared, and gone.
Again.
I need to reiterate that I am, in fact, fearful.
So, I finally started playing Animal Crossing. I came in hot, building houses, paying off debts, making friends, traveling. That lasted about 6 days. Then I went one day without playing just to take a little break. And why not? I work hard and I'll be right back to it tomorrow, right? Wrong. It's been 2 weeks and I haven't even touched my Switch. With each passing day, my anxiety about the situation grows. The problem is that I've never played Animal Crossing before and never knew anything about it until the recent buzz about New Horizons. But even then, I tried not to get too into it so that I could just play the game and experience it for the first time. As a result, I know that when you don't interact with your residents, they don't like it, and something happens, but I have no idea exactly what happens. That mystery has utterly paralyzed me. I've spent the last fortnight imagining what might be waiting for me on that godforsaken island. Are all my neighbours gone? Are they mad at me? Do they hate me? If they're gone, can I ever get them back? Will they hit me? Worse, well, they pretend they aren't mad, but just not like me that much anymore. I know I could have found out by now by just looking it up or asking seriously almost anyone, but I just don't have the strength. So, pickle people, break it to me gently. Are my neighbors dead? And then there is a PS of some flattery that we did read and is very nice, but is quite long, so we won't read on the show.
Yeah, it's like as long as this email, and it's all flattery. And please know that we did read it, and it's very nice, and thank you so much.
But at this point, it'd be big-headed for us to read it
Yeah.
out. And then it has another PS that says, if you think this might be interesting to answer, what is the most embarrassing thing in your recent search history? Not scandalous or pornographic or anything, just the sincerest, dumbest thing you've searched lately. Mine are cleft butt crack, Junie B. Jones, and what is the ass of a spider called? The word I was looking for is thorax.
And Google came through. Google came in clutch with that answer.
With the thorax.
Okay. Could you hear that dog barking in the background?
Yes,
while you were reading? Okay. I'm going to probably edit that out where I can, but just know that I'm still dog sitting Henry. But today is his last day here, and his owner, my brother, is actually moving all of his stuff out of my house today as I'm recording this episode. So all of those things together means that you're probably going to hear a dog bark or people in my hallway or something, but the show must go on.
Someone moving a sofa or
I
something.
Literally had to go
maybe some background noise.
I had to go outside and say, I'm going to be podcasting, so for a few hours, I just won't be like answering texts or anything.
Yeah, but if you could all do like the heavy lifting of furniture like quietly. Just ASAP.
If I could just... Yeah, if I could just come out after I'm done podcasting, all your stuff's already gone. And if you could be a deer and vacuum the room you were staying in, that would be chill.
If you could pick up all the dog shit from the backyard.
Yeah, that I haven't touched it in quite a while.
So much. Yeah, it's piling up. So, yeah.
So, if he just starts going nuts in like a few minutes, know that I tried to edit it out. But if you hear it, there's a dog here. What are you going to do?
Yeah, what are you going to do? There's a dog.
What are you going to do? Stop listening? I dare you. I dare you to start listening to this podcast. It's too...
No, please don't dare them. They'll do it. I'm so scared they'll do it.
They're playing Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
They don't know what's happening. They've gone, at this point, just more and more time without seeing anybody. Your villagers hate you. I went, God, it must have been 18 hours without playing one time, and I booted it up. I went to someone's house, and Chow had a fucking gun in his mouth.
Oh my god!
Yeah. But he's Chow, so I kind of egged him on.
I was like, you know what? It's time to cyberbully.
Probably. I'm about to cyberbully.
And you know what? You know where he is now? Moving on to my fucking island.
Oh yeah, Chow went to your island recently, right?
Your worst villager is coming to my island.
Yeah,
tomorrow.
I hate his ass.
No,
I don't like him at all.
Net. Yeah.
Your villagers are probably fine. I've only experienced this in New Leaf, and only when I don't play for a long time will I come back and there's just like a ton of weeds, and there's like, we haven't seen you in a while. But I don't think they do it all that hard in this game, and especially if it's only been weeks, like it's probably fine.
It's probably okay.
They're definitely probably not dead.
You don't know that.
I guess I don't know that.
You don't know that for sure. Like, they've got to prepare for the worst.
Right.
That is that they'll come in and they'll just be like a new little gravestone there. But you're like, I don't remember putting this gravestone here. And they're like, oh no, we had to do it.
No, that's Chow.
Because Ruby, she passed.
No, not Ruby.
I'm so sorry.
No, of course not Ruby. Her gorgeous red eyes.
But you'll probably be fine. They might be a little bit... The worst that mine have been when I've, like, not talked to, like, one of them accidentally for, like, a week is, like, they've just got quite passive-aggressive.
Yeah.
So they might get a little toxic.
Yeah, maybe they'll get... probably just a little bit. Like, they'll start, like, gaslighting you.
Right, but you just give them a shitty t-shirt and then they cheer right up.
Right.
Like, you'll probably be okay. Yeah.
What if they, like the game just like moves trees around only slightly by like a few squares. And then you're, I don't remember this. And they're like, I don't know. Maybe you should get more sleep. Actually, you don't look good.
You don't, the game starts telling you that you don't look.
You look a little tired. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, this tree's always been here. Like, what happened to my money tree? And they're like, what money tree, sweetie?
What? That wasn't a part of the game. That was a dream you had.
$200,000 less in my account. They're like, what? I don't know.
That's reverse interest, dummy.
You dumbass.
That's taxes.
No, it's probably fine. Obviously, you probably already Googled this, but it's fine. Or maybe they've even started playing. But honestly, here's my honest thing. If you only played for 6 days, put it down for weeks, just move on to a new game, man.
Just stop playing Pokemon.
Yeah, or anything else. I'm experiencing. Okay, this is me. I'm experiencing Animal Crossing fatigue right now.
Yeah, he's finally got there.
I've got there. You're not quite there yet, but I'm there. I'm experiencing the fatigue. I'm getting a little bit sick of the game. I don't like to turn it on. I don't like Isabel telling me the same fucking 4 things of dialogue when she's just like, oh, I watched the show last night. Oops, I guess I shouldn't share that. Like, I guess I know. Share everything with me. I love you. And then I go, I walk my beach. Hey, a recipe, same recipe. Okay, hey, someone's crafting something. I already have that. Okay, hey, okay, let's check my shops. Nothing new. Okay, I'm not a heavy player. I don't play like super often. I can't imagine how like heavy players feel. They must be getting super old.
Yeah, I think they just redo their islands constantly, and that's how they keep entertained. Though, just treat it like a design game, you know.
Right.
But do you want to answer this person's PS question?
Yeah, that's actually mostly what I want to talk about.
What is the most embarrassing thing in your recent search history?
I took a screenshot of mine.
I took a screenshot of mine too. Mine, well, yeah. We haven't told each other ours yet.
Okay.
Okay.
Pretty good. It's not bad. Mine are pretty funny. I got a lot of pretty good ones here in my Google search history.
Okay, tell me yours first.
Okay. I'm not gonna tell you all of them. I'll do one and then you do one, okay?
Okay.
Okay. One of mine
work out funny for me, but okay.
One of mine is dark yolk taste test. I was looking for a taste test of a dark egg yolk versus a more yellow egg yolk.
Did you find it?
Yes.
And?
Dark yolks taste a little bit better. But it doesn't have to do with the nutritional value of the egg. It has to do with the type of diet the chicken had. So if it's eating more like yellow and orange pigmented food, then it'll have darker yolk.
Thank you for listening to our eggcast. This has been the egg segment, the eggment.
Okay, what's one of yours?
Well, mine's really a 3-parter.
Okay,
because mine goes like this. So I'm just gonna reel mine off. Okay.
All right.
It goes Red Dead guy.
Okay.
And then
you want to know his name?
And then it goes Red Dead 2 guy.
I need to know the most current. Arthur
and then
Morgan.
It goes Red Dead 2 Arthur.
That's funny because recently you used his name when talking to me.
Yeah.
And now I know you had to Google for it.
Yeah.
You had to look it up.
Yeah, we were talking about you were playing it a few nights ago, and I was like, I need to say his name, but I don't know what it is. I was like, Red Dead. Oh, right, that was the game before. Red Dead 2? No, that's not the... Okay, I'm going to get there.
Okay, is that all of yours? And I can just rattle off some of mine now?
Yes.
Okay, here we go.
Please tell me yours.
Here's a Red Dead related one. It just says Red Dead possum hat. Because I really wanted to know if I can have that possum hat I keep seeing in the, teased at me. Whenever I'm in the shop, and it turns out, no, you cannot. Here's a pretty good one here. It just says, leaving bottled water outside. I wanted to know if it was safe.
If it was fine.
If it was I left a bottle of water.
They're like, was there a lid on it? Yeah.
Yes, and it's fine. Well, I left it in the sun. I want to know if it was growing. Okay, anyway. This one just says sample text. I don't remember that one. It just says sample text.
No, you wanted the Lauren Ipsum.
Yes. Actually, no. Oh my God, you sparked in my head. I did need that because of something I was doing in Photoshop.
Oh my God.
Okay, now, here's 2 of the best ones.
Yeah.
I love these ones a lot, so fucking brace yourself.
Okay.
This one says, my palm is hot. My palm is hot. Yes, I was having a panic attack. What of it? I was experiencing
it
a
was a
physical
symptom.
sensation. I just
I didn't
recently
enjoy
touched
it.
something and my palm got hot and it led to some anxiety. This is the best one, though. Are you ready for it?
Yes.
How does a bell pepper taste? Google, how does a bell pepper taste?
I remember talking to you about this.
Yeah. And now we know how a bell pepper tastes, obviously.
Yeah.
But I wanted to see what other people said about it because we were like, they're not quite bitter, but they're not
Yeah.
like sour like a lemon, but they don't taste
No.
good and they actually taste like shit. But how does someone else describe that? And
Yeah, I think we it's not that you were like, I wonder how they and like you wanted to experience it. It's just like we were curious about how someone else would describe it. I think.
just that in my recent search, how does a bell pepper taste is just makes it very much sound like I am a robot.
You're doing research. All right, I have a tangentially related screenshot too. That is one of my searches was Marge Simpson hairstyle.
Oh,
Because I wanted to know why it was tall like that. But then the related searches went like this in this order. Why is Marge's voice so raspy? Valid question.
yeah.
Why are the Simpsons yellow? Another valid question.
Are they okay?
And then, who is the daughter that Homer Simpson never noticed?
What the fuck?
Yeah, that's what it says. And then I clicked for the answer and it just said Maggie Simpson.
Oh.
But I don't know why it was phrased like that.
Well, they worded it that weird.
They worded it very weird.
Yeah, they
Who is
worded
the daughter that Homer Simpson never noticed? Makes it sound like he has like a secret daughter that lives only at the peripherals of his vision all the time, you know, like a ghost daughter.
Oh, that's terrifying.
Yeah. Like you can only see her like in the original uncropped frame.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
not the one they have on Disney Plus where it's zoomed in, but like
uncropped,
you can only see
she's
that
there
the secret,
at the ceiling.
Yeah, the secret third Simpsons daughter is only there in the full uncropped version.
Yeah, and it's not Maggie, it's Mangy.
Mangy.
Pretty good.
Pretty.
We've burned almost through this entire episode and we're on the first question still.
Oh my god.
So,
okay, let's get to the second
time
one.
flies when you're voice chatting with your star-crossed love.
From across the world, yeah.
From across the country, really.
Yes. No. Wait, no. All right, do you want to read the next one?
Yes. Let me just
Okay.
get to... I actually exited
Of course you did.
Chrome. I don't know why I did that.
Hang on. Yeah.
I don't know why I did that. Okay,
I
here
don't
we
know
go.
why you would do such a thing.
Okay, here's a short little email. It's short but good and sweet like nectar. And it's okay, here we go. I was actually killing time until I found it. It's called Turns Out My Brother is a Screamer. And it says, good afternoon, doo-doo heads. I started rooming with my brother back in August, and up until now, both of us have been single. He's recently started seeing a girl he met on Tinder, though, and I'm sure you can infer the rest from there. That being said, this is the Shit and Piss podcast, so I'll throw a bit of extra detail just for you guys, a little winky. They were quiet the first time or two that she came over, but I guess that they just stopped caring after that for some reason because, dear Lord, it's not that they're just loud, they're borderline yelling. His room is on the floor above mine, and even though it's not directly above mine, that doesn't stop it from being perfectly clear as to what they're saying, what they're doing, and who is and who it is that's doing it. I tried wearing earplugs when I went to bed the other night, and it was still loud enough to make out while I was trying to go to sleep. Is there any advice you could give me besides ask them to be quieter? Because I don't think that's something I'll ever be able to do without immediately kneeling over and dying from anxiety. Best wishes, this person's name. P.S. This was an awful email. I'm so sorry for asking you to read this.
Apology accepted.
Apology accepted. This is a great email.
Yeah.
Apology accepted and forgiven and disagree. This
Oh,
is a great email.
it's a good email. I like it. I mean, it gives me horrible, horrible feelings in my stomach, but I like it.
You ever heard
Yeah.
your brother fucking?
Don't ask me that
You ever heard your
question.
brother climax?
Don't ask me that question.
Reach an orgasm?
No, the answer is no.
Okay.
The answer is no.
The answer to mine is
Thankfully.
maybe. Because,
Oh.
yeah, when we were teens, Johnny, who I spoke about in the last episode, because he's
Mm-hmm.
a bronzed statue of a man who can pop his top in public with absolutely no problem at all. Of course, he can swing girls.
Yes.
So when we were teenagers, there were many situations. I've like walked in on him having sex.
Oh,
I've
God.
seen. It was such a bad angle too. Like I saw everything, dude. I saw him like entering this girl. It was fucking terrible. That like broke part of my soul in half. I was like 16 at the time. But at some point after that, we lived in a house where his room also was in the floor above mine, but it was the room directly above my room. And there's something about being right below that I'm sure they were trying to be quiet. Didn't matter. I heard everything. I heard everything. Him and his girlfriend at the time, you know, we were young. We were teens. He was like, I was in my late teens. He was probably in his early 20s. And it was like right before he moved out. And man, I heard a lot.
Oh, God.
I would just have to
I
like
hate that.
put on music, you know, like, hey, maybe if I play music loudly and they think, uh-oh, I can hear him, maybe he can hear us. But yeah, something about the room being above you, it's like the noise just falls onto you.
Cloaks you in a horrible blanket. Like the worst kind of blanket.
Yeah.
I have not heard my brother, thankfully.
Oh, that's
but
good.
I did have one time my mum come to me for advice because she could hear him.
Oh, no.
So that's quite bad.
Yeah, and now you got mom involved. Yeah. At this point, it's a family meeting. You can't. That sucks.
I know.
At least when I walked in on Johnny, I was literally just like, I opened the door, I saw what I saw, my soul left my body.
Yeah, never to return.
You know what sucks is that, you know, I opened the door, so you know the door opened. So, you know, he looks toward the door and our eyes meet, you know? We made eye contact before I like shook and closed the door and just kind of like
Screamed.
Yeah,
I
just sort of like wondered if I'd ever be okay again after that. And the answer was no. I live with a panic disorder.
No.
So
The answer is no, it broke me.
no, I speak to a therapist bi-monthly now. So yeah, I still haven't told them
Because of
that story. Yeah,
specifically. Not quite ready. No. Ready to tell it to the podcast, of course. But
yeah, it was super funny.
yeah. All right. So, do you have any advice aside from ask them to be quieter?
You can't do that. I never did that.
Can't do that.
I
You
never
can't
did
do
that, and I was directly below. I also would
Yeah.
just be like, so do you think that you can? Like, I would never want to talk to him about that.
No,
There's no way.
Because listening is, you know, is falling into a pit of despair and having to deal with that. But confronting about it is like digging that pit even deeper and then like making a home in the pit of despair.
It's bad.
Yeah,
It's
so
not good.
It's so anxiety inducing. But here I have some actual advice.
Okay.
Similar to the advice that I gave my mum about 10 years ago. And that is that you don't talk about the fucking, but you just like mention in passing, just like, you know, oh, like it's so weird. Like, I didn't kind of realize the sound carried so much, but
How
you know,
you
I could
jacking
hear-
off? Perfectly, actually.
No.
Heard every movement.
Jesus Christ, no. Painted an audio picture. Like it was like how bats see, you know? It was sonar.
With sonar, yeah, I heard every stroke. I saw it in my mind's eye.
No, you just start being like, oh yeah, like when you play music, I was like, I can like hear every word of it, and like, oh yeah, I heard you two like joking around, kind of thing. Like you mentioned that you can hear them like talking,
Hmm.
and then they'll be like, oh, if they can hear me talking, it must follow they can hear me doing other things, and then they'll
Right.
probably get the message to be quieter. That is what I would do. Yeah.
It's
Or you could go with like the method that my old housemates had in the warehouse, which was just banging on the wall really
right.
loudly and saying
Yeah.
"shut up."
Yeah. Like,
So
I think that I like it's so much that's so much easier when you're not related to the person, though. When someone's just fucking next door to you, or you're having sex and then someone just bang, 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 hey, shut the fuck up.
yeah,
It's almost just like you laugh it off and you're like, hey, sorry, guy.
right. You don't die. You don't die of being
Yeah,
mortified.
there's something about being like 6 and opening Christmas gifts with that person is just like you can't also have that while also having the casual like, hey, you stop. It's too much. You can't do both. So yeah, like
Yeah.
the roommate thing is fine. It's weird that he's being as loud as he's being, though. You think that he would. Does he just not know, or does he just not care? Because they say that they started off quiet. The first
Yeah.
time, first time or two that she came over, and now they're just like howling at the moon.
Right. But maybe they're like testing it. Maybe they're getting like progressively louder every time, seeing when
Where the
you
line
might
is?
notice, kind
Yeah,
of thing. And if you don't say something, then
you're like,
they're
dang, I
just
have a
gonna get
soundproof house.
yeah, they're just gonna start getting out megaphones,
Right.
just for the fuck of it. Like
Start going ham on their ham.
so I don't know. It might just escalate forever and you'll just shrivel further and further down into a corn cob. So
Okay.
yeah.
If I could add just a little bit of advice to this,
Okay.
I would hope that maybe sound travels, even though I know it doesn't. They can't hear you as much as you can hear them, but they could probably hear you a little bit. Maybe just like play some music loudly during. Maybe that's the most that you. Yeah, actually, maybe that. I would feel more comfortable doing that. Like, let's say that I was still a teenager and I was downstairs in my room and my brother was in his room directly above mine and I heard all that stuff. If they then heard me put on music, that might be a more gentle way to be like, I don't want to hear this stuff right now, and I'd rather hear
Yes.
this, and I'm kind of gonna drown it out, and maybe they'll be a little bit quieter as a result. But that's so like me to be like, I'm not gonna just say the thing because it's too awkward and I'm too anxious.
Yes.
But I also don't want to experience this over and over again. But I did. I had to experience it over and over again.
Yeah. But now you've come up with a solution, just in case it ever happens again.
What is that?
Well, just in case it ever happens again, you can just start playing the music.
Oh, right, loudly. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
If I'm
And it
ever
will
living
be
below
Insane
my
Clown
brother
Posse.
again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, I'll play some of the romantic songs.
Ooh. The netting game.
The Nedden game is very good. Bugs on My Nugs is pretty good.
Oh, a classic. Yeah.
Twisted has Fuck on the First Date. I was listening to an Anybody Killa song this morning called Yanedden's Haunted.
Ooh.
Yeah. I've never shown you that one yet, but it is a certified
No.
classic.
It's got a. I'm so intrigued from the title alone.
Yeah. Your Nedden's Haunted.
Good. You have told me that before.
Yeah, I actually have said that to you before.
But we shan't get into that. Do we? How long has this podcast been?
We're out of time now.
So no third question.
We're not going to get to a third question this time.
We're on our classic bullshit of saying that we're going to do 3 questions and then not doing
We
them.
love doing that. But hey, now we know what to answer next time, even though the other question's like a perfect last question. So we might just like never get to it for the next like 5 episodes because we keep on doing 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Or 2, what am I saying? 2 question episodes.
2 question episodes.
2 episode
Yeah.
episodes. Anyway, thank you for it's like my brain is not
Just glitching.
I was doing pretty good. Sock brain hit me right at the end though.
Yeah.
I had normal sock brain and then it got wet.
I mean, it is the late hour of 6:30 for you. I mean, 2:30 in the morning for me, granted, but
Yeah, you're on jet lagged, so that's fine. You're fine.
Sleeping schedule's fucked anyway,
Yeah.
right? Why try to fix it?
Even though you've been home,
Lean into it.
you've had a great sleeping schedule since you've gotten home, and it's been weeks since you've gotten home, so probably no jet lag.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, yeah, 6:30. I might have a little nap.
I might not edit this episode and just have a nap.
Yeah, maybe it'll be
Fuck
extra
it.
late. Thank you guys so very much for listening. This has been All the Space in Between. My name is Mitch.
My name is Billie. If you would like to email us a thing to read on our email reading podcast, then we would love that. We do read every single email we get, and we love to get new ones, though, every single time. So you can email us at
allthespaceinbetween@gmail.com. Recently we were looking at our emails and we're reading through them, because we read them kind of as we get them, or like once a week we'll just skim through the ones that we've gotten and then we'll star the ones that we think we could answer on the show, and then we'll pick through that. But Gmail told us that we've hit our 500th question recently. Not that we've answered, but that we've gotten 500 pickles in our barrel.
Yeah. 500 of you wanted our advice on things. Well, not 500 people. Some of them are repeat people, but you want advice on 500 questions from us.
Hundreds of people need. That is amazing to me. So please keep on sending questions. Again, the email is allthespaceinbetween@gmail.com. And if you would like to listen to any of these episodes in whatever order that you might, because certain people are just like, oh yeah, I'm just now checking out this podcast. I'll start at episode 1. Don't do that. Don't. In fact, if you're suggesting this podcast to people, which I hope that you are, don't be like, hey, just start at episode 1. They're not episodic. They're not going in any order. We've only gotten better at podcasting since we've started. Just like pick a random episode or the latest episode and just kind of work through them like that. I think that's the coolest way to listen to a non-episodic podcast like that. Anyway, if you would like to listen to any amount of the any number of these episodes, whether that be on Spotify or Apple Music or Apple Podcast, Jesus Christ, I'm doing so bad. Apple, just go to our fucking website. Our website is
do it. allthespaceinbetween.com.
Yeah,
yeah, we made it.
We did it. Our first episode with you gone. But it feels natural to podcast. It feels natural. It just feels so good to have you gone. It feels like I'm rejuvenated.
Fuck.
I'm just like, I just feel good. The bed is like, I'm spreading out. I'm spread eagle on the bed.
God.
I'm playing video games. I'm on Tinder. I'm swiping and I'm texting just random hotties.
I crawled into a bed last night and realized after I got into it that it was covered in dust mites and I had a horrible rash on me.
Yeah, you told me that
because it had been abandoned for 4 months.
Because you just got to your dad's house has your room. You're like, mama's home, and all your little dust mite children were like, mama's home,
Came
mama's
out to
home.
Feed.
Yeah, started just suckling on you. Yeah, because we had already said goodnight, okay, yeah. I'll you usually hit me up just as I'm like falling asleep, and that's just the long distance relationship we're in right now. And it was after we had already said goodnight, and you were like, the bed's covered in mites. I was like, oh God, and you're like, yeah, but it's already
I'm
really
itching
late,
quite a lot.
so I have to just kind of lay in it.
Yeah,
I
just have to deal with it now.
This is tomorrow Billy's problem.
And guess what? She didn't deal with it, so it might have to be mite time again tonight.
What you didn't do anything about it?
I've got a clean pair of sheets. I just haven't put it on yet. I'll put them on when we stop recording. I'll put them on for a treat.
Did you like vacuum the mattress or something?
No.
You got to do the mattress too.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh my God, I didn't know that.
Jesus.
Yeah, you got to like clean the mattress or flip it or something like that, or like.
See, I don't know what to do when I'm by myself.
See my the spray we got for the cats and their fleas and stuff?
Yes.
Would be really good to spray on the mattress because that would like kill any eggs or anything like that.
I love this secret segment of our podcast that we're doing, which is after we've already said goodbye and done all of our plugs, where we just have like a really domestic conversation.
Giving genuine advice to each other. Okay, I'm forgetting the brand, but I guess I'll text it to you. It's that spray we got for our cats. Remember when they had fleas?
This is just a genuine slice of our conversation.
Some of that on the. Thank you guys so much for listening. New episodes every Monday. We will talk to you next time.
See ya.
Bye.